हेलो एवरीवन। इस वीडियो में हम क्लास 7 की बीबीसी की रीडिंग सेक्शन के सारे होमवर्क असाइनमेंट करने वाले हैं 1 to 6। तो इस रीडिंग पैसेज में कुछ वर्ड्स आने वाले हैं, उन वर्ड्स के हम मीनिंग्स देख लेते हैं। पहले फर्स्ट वर्ड हमें गिवन है एंग्विश्ड, इसका मतलब होता है मिजरेबल और ट्रबल्ड। सेकंड है विंस्ड, शूक इन पेन और फियर। हेल, कॉल, बिगनेस, लार्ज साइज, फ्राइट, फियर। रीडिंग पोएम। Read the following poem carefully. Lost Dog. I saw a little dog today, and oh, that dog was lost. He risked his anguished puppy life with every street he crossed. He shrank away from outstretched hands. He winced at every hail. Against the city's bigness, he looked very small and frail. Distrust lay in his tortured eyes. His body shook with fright. I wondered when he had eaten last, and where he had slept at night. I whistled and I followed him, and dropped that he might guess that all my soul reached out to him and offered friendliness. So many times I have been lost and lonely and afraid. I followed through the crowded streets. I followed and I prayed. And then the God of little things, who knows when sparrows fall, put trust into the puppy's heart and made him heed all my call. On the basis of your reading of the poem, complete the following summary by filling the blanks with suitable words taken from the box below. तो हमें कुछ वर्ड्स गिवन है: whistling, trusted, small, prayed, lost, lonely, hands, eaten, crossed, body. One day the poet saw a little puppy lost in a street in a big city. He was risking his life with every street he crossed. People tried to draw his attention by stretching their hands and by hailing him, but he did not pay any attention to them. He found himself to be much too small and frail in so big a city. He seemed to have been tortured, for his body was shaking in fear. The poet wondered if he had eaten and slept enough recently. She prayed to God that the dog should listen to her. She tried to reach out him by whistling and following him. To her love, the dog somehow trusted her and followed her. The poet remembers how on many occasions she too felt lost, lonely, and afraid in the big city. Second, answer the following questions as briefly as possible. First, why did the dog not respond to people's outstretched hands and calls? Because he did not trust anyone. He was much too timid and afraid. Part B. What doubt did the poet have when she looked at the dog? She doubted that the dog had eaten and slept properly or not. Third, why do you think the poet decided to follow the dog? Because she understood the pain of being lonely and lost in a big place. She had genuine love for dogs. Fourth, what prayer did the poet make? She prayed that the puppy should trust her. Fifth, how was her prayer answered? Her prayer was answered when the puppy heeded her call. Part B, take the correct option for each of the following sentences. First, choose the option that correctly lists the given qualities belonging to the poet and dog respectively. तो पोएट में कौन कौन सी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है? पोएट है तो पोएट में जौन जौन सी है वो मैं टिक कर रही हूँ. ऑब्जर्वेंट, केयरिंग, कंपैशनेट, परसुएसिव, फ्रेंडली, होपफुल एंड गॉड फियरिंग. और डॉग में है डॉग इज टिमिड, टेरिफाइड, डिस्ट्रस्टिंग, लोनली एंड हेल्पलेस. तो हमारे पास करेक्ट ऑप्शन हो जाएगा थर्ड. B. One thing common between the dog and the speaker has been: first, both are compassionate; second, both are cheerful and playful; third, both have had an experience of being lost; fourth, both readily reach out to each other. The correct answer है C. Both have had an experience of being lost. C. The poet has a deep faith in himself, deep faith in the dog, deep faith in the world around her, deep faith in God. तो करेक्ट आंसर है हमारे पास फोर्थ, डीप फेथ इन गॉड. The poet hoped the dog to shy away from her, accept her friendship, say he was lost, follow her. Second, accept her friendship. What dangers, risk or threats did the dog have to face? Choose the option that has not been mentioned or suggested in the poem. Die of danger, hit by speeding vehicles, fall sick, had no shelter. तो जिसके बारे में नहीं बात करी है वो है हमारे पास hit by speeding vehicles. In your opinion, what did the poet make a good decision in rescuing? Say yes or no. Give two reasons for your opinion using information given in the poem. I applaud the poet's decision to rescue the lost dog. It was very kind gestures on her part. The dog was lost, forlorn, terrified, and hungry. He deserved to be saved, and he deserved to live. Had she not saved the dog, the poor little creature might have been run over by a speeding vehicle or died of starvation. अब हम सेकेंड होमवर्क असाइनमेंट रीड करेंगे. Gay versus serious wint a sudden desire or change of mind. Read the following poem carefully. A friend. A friend is one who stands to share your every touch of grief and care. He comes by chance but stays by choice. Your praises he is quick to voice. No grievous fault or passing whim can make an enemy of him. And though your need be great or small, his strength is yours throughout it all. No matter where your path may turn, your welfare is his chief concern. No matter what your dream may be, he prays your triumph soon to see. There is no wish your tongue can tell, but what is your friend's as well. The life of him who has a friend is double guarded to the end. On the basis of your reading of the poem, complete the following summary by filling in the blanks with one word each. You have been given one example. A friend. A true friend is someone who shares our joys and sorrows. We find such friends only by chance, but it is up to us how long they stay our friends. True friends ignore our faults and whims and prove to be our strength in times of need. No matter where we go in life, they are always concerned about our welfare. They always pray that our dreams may come true and that we may triumph in life. Whatever we wish to happen, they wish it to. Such friends make us feel doubly guarded throughout our life. हमें match the following given है. Given below are some expressions from the poem. Match them with the correct suggested meanings by drawing lines. You have been given one example. तो ये no grievous fault or passing whim can make an enemy of him. ये match होगा. Friends stay our friends despite our faults and oddities. Second है your welfare is his chief concern. तो फर्स्ट हमारा हो गया था. सेकंड हमारा मैच होगा friends are always worried about our well-being. Third, he comes by chance but stays by choice. तो ये फर्स्ट ऑप्शन के साथ मैच होगा. Our destiny gives us friends. It is up to us how long they stay with us. Fourth, there is no wish your tongue can tell, but what is your friends as well. तो फोर्थ हमारा किसके साथ मैच होगा? Our friends wish what we wish. Fifth, the life of him who has a friend is double guarded to the end. We feel doubly reassured and safe in the company of our friends. And though you need he great or be great or small, friends stand by us in our times of need. His strength is yours throughout it all. तो ये हमारा किससे मैच होगा? बिल्कुल लास्ट से, our friend are our power. Next 8, he prays your trump soon to see. Our friends always pray for our dreams to come true. Third, choose two qualities of a friend mentioned in the poem that you value most in your life. Explain what you value, why you value them. The two qualities I like in a good friend are being available in need and being a well-wisher. A true friend is someone we can bank upon in times of need. He always keeps our well-being and good uppermost in a purely selfless way. नेक्स्ट हम करेंगे होमवर्क असाइनमेंट 3. Read the following passage carefully. Dance has always fascinated people all across the various civilizations. It has been and continues to be an integral part of life anywhere in the world. What is the secret of this never ending appeal of dance? One, it performs a lot of important functions. Example, it is a form of expression, a social interaction, and exercise, and sometimes a therapy for good health and even a spiritual journey. Two, thanks to diversity of culture and climate, an array of styles and genres of dance have evolved. As a result, it has never lacked novelty and freshness. In spite of being firmly rooted in tradition, dance forms are broadly classified as interpretive, classical, street, participatory, social, ceremonial, competitive, and so on, while the African dance is said to be interpretative. Square dance, break dance, and electric slide are treated as street dances. It is not possible to put a definite date on when dance came to be a part of human culture, but there is some archaeological evidence that from earliest times dance has been performed as at ceremonies, rituals, celebrations, and entertainment. This conclusion can easily be drawn from the ancient Indian paintings as well as from Egyptian tomb paintings. Long before the invention of the written language, dance was used as the chief means of telling stories, especially at the communal level. Other uses of dance are no less fascinating in cultures from the Brazilian rainforest and the Kalahari Desert. For example, dance was used as form of healing, while in India it was originally a way of worshipping God. In the early 20th century, there was an explosion of what is called modern dance. From the 1960s onwards, the trend was towards simplicity, beauty of the untrained body, and unsophisticated movement. Elaborate costumes were rejected, as were the stories, but these changes did not work well, and before long costumes and stories were back, the 1980s saw the emergence of contemporary dance alongside classical dance. However, what did not change were the working conditions in which professional dancers had to perform, strong competitive pressure, and low income. Sadly, the trend continues. नेक्स्ट हम इसमें क्वेश्चंस करेंगे इसके ऊपर बेस्ड. Take the correct option for each of the following statements. First, the first paragraph mainly deals with the various forms and functions of dance, history of dance forms in Africa, the importance of dance in human life, some examples of street dances. The correct option is first, various forms and functions of. B. Electric slide is an example of dash dance, a classical African street or ceremonial. Correct answer is third, a street dance. See, in Brazilian rainforest and the Kalahari desert, dance was used as a substitute of writing, kind of therapy, way of inventing stories, form of language. Correct answer is kind of therapy, part C. D. The expression an explosion of modern dance means elaborate use of colorful costumes and detailed storylines, public anger and controversy over dance performances, rejection of untrained and unsophisticated performance, immense popularity of new dance forms. Correct answer is fourth, immense popularity of new dance forms. E. One thing that was typical of dances in 1980s was rejection of modern forms, emphasis on the narrative forms, rise of modern and classical forms, introduction of elegant and stylish moves. Correct answer is third, rise of modern and classical forms. Answer the following questions briefly. The passage lists two reasons for never-ending appeal of dance. One of them is that it performs a lot of functions. List the other reason. Due to diversity of culture and climate, an array of styles and genres of dance have evolved, and these have kept alive the novelty and freshness of dance. What evidence led to archaeologists to conclude that dance is an ancient form of art? They have concluded this after looking at the ancient Indian paintings as well as Egyptian tomb paintings. So next see का question है, how was dance chiefly used before the invention of the written language? Before the invention of the written language, dance was used as the chief means of telling stories, especially at the communal level. D. How was dance mainly used in ancient India? In ancient India, dance was mainly used as a way of worshipping God. But these changes did not work well. What changes are referred to here? The changes referred to are a trend towards simplicity, beauty of the untrained body, unsophisticated movement, absence of elaborate costumes and stories. F. Sadly, the trend continues. What trend is the author talking about here? The author is talking about the trend of strong competitive pressure and low incomes, as well as the poor working conditions in which professional dancers perform. Say whether the following statements are true or false. First, dance as an artistic tradition has been found to be popular in almost all civilizations. The statement is true. Second, dance as a form of art is deeply rooted in tradition and therefore lacks novelty and freshness. The statement is false. Third, experts have now established when exactly dance first came to be a part of human culture. False. D. During the 1960s, the dance performance used elaborate costumes and storylines in their performances. False. E. In the 1980s, while the classical dance continued to be popular, contemporary dance forms also came into being. True. F. The author is not happy with the working conditions and earning of most professional dancers. True. 4. Tick the option with underlined words that can suitably replace contemporary. The house was old-fashioned and in a bad condition. सेकंड में क्या a dull and boring life lay ahead of him इसमें boring है हमारे पास. थर्ड में I am going through a very difficult time these days, very difficult. Although the play was written hundreds of years ago, it still has a modern feel to it. इसका correct answer है fourth. Fifth, would you like to learn to dance? Say yes or no, answer yes or no, explain your opinion, giving at least 4 reasons from the text. Yes, I would definitely like to learn to dance because dancing is the healthy activity, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It is a form of exercise that improves our stamina and relieves stress. Moreover, it is also a form of expression, social interaction, and entertainment. अब हम करेंगे होमवर्क असाइनमेंट 4. Read the following passage carefully. Preserve the tree of life. I have spent all my life in a place that nestles in the lap of eastern Himalayas in North Bengal. The eastern Himalayas are very important biodiversity hotspot and extremely rich in its diversity of flora and fauna. The lives and cultures of people are traditionally rooted in nature. Because of that, I have been lucky to be a part of that. My recent move to Delhi replaced the green forest of Darjeeling to the concrete jungles of city. In front of my house is a fairly large tree. This tree is what helps me maintain my sanity. Every day I watch the tree and the life it supports. I have found that it is alive, vibrant and totally rejuvenating. The tree is home to a variety of birds, insects, and animals, so also intricately connected with the world of tree. Interestingly, the tree is a friend of cattle too, as a crowded cowshed is situated next to it. The cows lie under the cool of the tree and birds come and peck their body, keeping them free of all parasites. And there are two pairs of squirrels merrily running up and down the tree. The tree is also a garbage collection point. In case of spills, the dog clean up the food waste and remaining is taken care of by birds and insects. Inspired by the tree, I thought I too should invite birds to my little home. My friend I have an earthen pot with cool water and rice grains on the balcony. Watching the birds is refreshing and soul touching. The tree is not only home to the animals but also to the old people in the area. The tree provides shade for them to sit under it even in the peak of summer. As I sit here reveling in the world of this 30-year-old tree, I wonder why trees are not valued in our urban planning. They are not only beautiful but are practically important too, for shade, for water recharge, for clean air. Why do development planners not realize this? Why are trees being cut to make way for roads, shopping malls, or stadiums? Our towns and cities are getting so far from nature. It is up to us to find ways to stay connected. Tick the correct option for each of the following statements. Which of the following may not be true? Of the eastern Himalaya region, it is rich in biodiversity. People's life and culture they are rooted in nature. Darjeeling is an important town in this region. The place of author's current residence is located somewhere in this region. The correct answer is 4. Which of the following is not mentioned in paragraph 2 of the passage? The tree is home to a variety of birds, insects, and animals. The tree is a friend of cattle too. The tree serves as playground for a pair of squirrels. The tree is the favorite meeting point of some old people of the area. जिसके बारे में मेंशन नहीं किया गया है वो है हमारे पास लास्ट पॉइंट. See, which of the following is not included in the author's description of the garbage under the tree? The tree serves as garbage collecting point. Cattle in the area eat up the garbage there. Dogs clean up the spilled food waste. Some birds and insects clean the remaining garbage. The correct option is second. D. Which of the following is not among the benefits that the author gets from the tree? It has helped her stay connected with the nature in her urban surroundings. It makes her feel rejuvenated. It has inspired her to care for and feed birds. It provides her fruit in every season. तो करेक्ट आंसर है हमारे पास food. It provides her fruit in every season. E. The author says trees are practically important. Which of the following is not among the examples of the importance of trees mentioned by her in paragraph 6? Trees provide shade, trees recharge underground water, trees clean the air, trees provide wood. The correct answer is D. Fourth part, trees provide wood. Pick the option that can substitute the underlined word in the given sentence from the paragraph 2 of the text. I have found that it is alive, vibrant, and totally rejuvenating. Fruit bearing, growing, refreshing, or blooming. The correct answer है हमारे पास refreshing. The passage, the atmosphere and life in Darjeeling and Delhi shows some similarities between, highlights advantages of, presents a contrast between, emphasizes the need of staying connected with. The correct answer है इसका thought, presents a contrast between. H. Read the following statements and then choose the option that correctly lists them as facts and opinion. First, the Eastern Himalayas are a very important biodiversity hotspot and extremely rich in its diversity of flora and fauna. Second, inspired by the tree, I thought I too should invite birds to my little home. Third, the tree is not only home to the animals but also to the old people in the area. Fourth, I wonder why trees are not valued in our urban planning. तो हमारे पास ये फर्स्ट और थर्ड जो है ये हमारे पास फैक्ट्स हैं, बाकी जो सेकंड और फोर्थ है ये हमारे पास ओपिनियंस है. तो करेक्ट ऑप्शन है हमारे पास थर्ड. What arrangements has the narrator made to invite birds to his little home? He has placed an earthen pot with cool water and rice grains on the balcony. Third, list at least two objections the author has to urban planning and urban planners. Towns and cities are getting so far from nature and are turning into concrete jungles. Development planners do not realize the importance of trees in urban town planning. Instead, trees are being cut to make way for road, shopping malls, or stadiums. Look at paragraph 2. Find and copy one word that means the same as the state of being normal or healthy in mind. Sanity. Look at paragraph 6. Find and copy one word that means the same as enjoying or getting great pleasure from something. Revenue. If you were to choose between Darjeeling and Delhi, which city would you choose to spend your entire life in? Give at least two reasons using information from the text to support your answer. I think I would choose Darjeeling to live in because of the proximity to the Himalayas, its natural beauty, beautiful weather, and of course, tea gardens. I will do some sort of trading business, be a travel guide, a nature conservator, or a bank employee so that I could sustain myself there. अब हम करेंगे होमवर्क असाइनमेंट 5. Read the following passage carefully. Burn, burn, burn. This is a bit stupid, don't you think? Nirmal asked the old man who sat across the bonfire. Flames crackled merrily and thick smoke seemed to envelop the whole sky. The day was grey with smoke, burning everything like this. Nirmal put down a bag full of old scraps. I understand getting rid of rubbish, but you might as well throw it in some rubbish ground. What's the point of burning them? The whole place stinks. The old man grunted. They couldn't really be called friends. Nirmal knew that. The old man lived somewhere in his area, but he wasn't a resident, neither was a rag picker. But he appeared suddenly on various occasions to do odd jobs. Nirmal was fascinated with him. He was quiet, but his eyes sparkled as though he knew plenty of secrets. He was now smiling mysteriously. Don't you think so? Nirmal was determined to get an answer. His mother wouldn't be very pleased if she saw him talking to the old man though, so it would have to be fast. What are you afraid of? Said the old man at last. Nirmal was so surprised he jumped. Your studies, school, friends, lessons, his voice was rusty. Yes. Burn them all. What? Nirmal screamed as a burning twig caught his hand. Burn what? Burn my books. No, burn your fear of studies, books, people. He picked up a bundle of clothes scraps. Burn. Nirmal watched him for a long moment and then took the bundle. He visualized his lessons, his fears of his teachers, fear of failing, low marks, exams were approaching. He didn't want a bad show, bad marks, he murmured and threw a scrap in the fire, teasing friends. Another scrap, mum and dad scolding, more scraps. Nirmal posed, speaking in the assembly. He had a bad case of stage fright. A bundle of scraps fell into the fire. The fire rose higher than before. Gone, said the old man, laughing rather loudly. Gone, murmured Nirmal. He felt as though he had had a fresh cleansing dip in cold water. He felt clean. The fire died down. Nirmal peered through the flames. The old man had vanished. Tick the correct option for each of the following statements. What does Nirmal find a bit stupid? The manner in which the old man sat before the bonfire, crackling sound of the flames, the thick smoke that rose from the fire, the old man burning rubbish things. The correct answer is 4. The old man burning rubbish. B. What was Nirmal's chief objection? The old man was not a resident of the area. The whole place stank of burning rags. The old man was a rag picker. The old man knew plenty of secrets. Correct answer is the whole place stank of burning rags. Second. C. Nirmal was determined to get an answer. What question was Nirmal determined to get the answer of? First, why the place stank of burning? Who the old man was? Why was the old man burning rags? Why what the old man was afraid of? Correct option is C. Why was the old man burning rags? D. The old man makes guesses about Nirmal's fears. Which of the following is not among the guesses? Studies and lessons, school, friends, stage fright. Correct answer is fourth, stage fright. E. Burning them all. What does the old man refer to as them in the sentence? Rags, books, fears, twigs. Correct answer is third, fears. F. How did Nirmal feel after performing the ritual of burning the rags? He was afraid, he felt cleaned and purified, he regretted his act, he experienced a cause of loss. Correct answer have part B. He felt cleaned and purified. G. Four people describe the old man based on their reading of the above passage. Select the most appropriate option out of the ones given below. Person 1. The old man was a crazy man. I mean, what is the point of adding to more pollution to already polluted atmosphere? Person 2. The old man's approach to managing fears and shortcomings in life is remarkable. Person 3. I think the old man wanted to kidnap Nirmal but could not find an opportunity to do so. The answer is person 2. Person 4. I think the old man was not human, he was a spirit. I mean, how could he suddenly vanish? इसका correct answer है person 2, part B. Second, answer the following questions as briefly as possible. List two things that the old man fascinated Nirmal. First है his quietness. Second है his mysterious smile. Give two reasons why Nirmal and the old man could not be called friends. The first है one, there was a huge difference between their ages. Second, the two, the old man was not a local resident of the area and therefore a stranger For Nirmal, moreover, Nirmal felt his mother wouldn't approve of their friendship. Third, find and copy a word from lines 5 to 10 that means the same as smells badly, stinks. Fourth, find a copy a word from lines 25 to 33 that means the word the same as looked closely or carefully at something. Weird. Fifth, do you think it was a good idea for Nirmal to speak with a stranger like the old man? Say yes or no and give reasons in your support. तो हम इसके दो आंसर्स लिखेंगे, एक yes में और एक no में. फर्स्ट मैं yes में लिख रही हूँ. Yes, it was a good idea for Nirmal to speak to the stranger. It shows that he was not afraid of strangers but confident enough to talk to one. He was he also wanted to find out why the old man was burning things. अब यही इसका एक और आंसर है नेगेटिव सेंस में. नो, इट वाज नॉट अ गुड आइडिया फॉर निर्मल to speak to the stranger because the old man was a bit odd in his behavior. His act of burning things was something abnormal. Nirmal could have been harmed by the stranger. 6. Do you approve of the way Nirmal managed his tears by burning his fears by burning them away? Say yes or no. Give reason in support of your answer. Yes, I think Nirmal was right in managing his fears by burning them away. After overcoming his fears, he felt as though he had a fresh, cleansing dip in cold water. He felt clean and relieved. अब हम करेंगे होमवर्क असाइनमेंट 6. Read the following scenarios carefully. Scenario 1. The story of Nevin Gulia. Since he was a boy, Nevin Gulia had dreamed of joining the paramilitary forces, so after school he enrolled in the National Defence Academy and then accepted into the Indian Military Academy (IMA). In 1995, Gulia fell while participating in infantry obstacle training at the IMA, crushing his spine and leaving him paralyzed from the shoulders down. So severe were his injuries that he spent 2 years in hospital, finally returning home in 1997 in a wheelchair. Determined to use his mind if he could not use his body, Gulia completed a master's in computer management and began teaching in a school. Gradually, he also rekindled his old passion for adventure sports. He started with just driving, then he joined a flying club. In 2004, Gulia made it to the Limca Book of Records as the only person to drive non-stop from Delhi to Marsimik, La in Leh, Jammu and Kashmir, the highest motorable pass in the world. It took him 55 hours. Gulia also flies micro-light aircraft and paragliders. The truth is, you become successful because of your difficulties, not despite them. He says. Scenario 2. The story of Masudur Rahman Badia. Masudur Rahman Badia was 9 when he was run over by a goods train. Both his legs had to be amputated at the knee. He had to spend over 1.5 years in a different hospital. He finally emerged from the artificial limb center in Pune as a child determined to do the best. I had always loved to swim, and long hours in the water helped me to get through the trauma even as a child, he says. In 1997, Vedya became the world's first double amputee below the knee to swim across the English Channel. In 2001, he swam across the Strait of Gibraltar. After the amputation, his body would bend downward from below the waist in water. He practiced from dawn to dusk and did not give up till he could swim. His next mission to swim across the Park Strait. The truth is, everyone has some disability. Ours is just physical. He says it is possible for people with physical disabilities to do things better than normal people, but you have to trust yourself. Tick the correct option for each of the following statements. A. The first two paragraphs of Navin Gulia's story describe what risks there are in military training, how Navin was paralyzed from shoulders downward, what Navin did to overcome his challenge, how one can enroll into army. The correct answer is second. How Navin was paralyzed from shoulders downward. The one valuable lesson that we all can learn from Nevin's story is people can get injured if they are careless. Life is all about making and breaking records. You use your mind, not body. Difficulties can make us stronger. The correct answer is part 4. Difficulties can make us stronger. A valuable lesson that we can learn from most Masood's life is if you cannot do one thing, try another thing. Do sports to overcome your weakness. Never lose hope and never give up. If you don't do impossible things, people won't notice you. The correct answer is third, never lose hope and never give up. D. The last paragraph shows that Masood believes most people are physically challenged, makes fun of the so-called normal people, have a very positive attitude to life, is unrealistic and overconfident. The correct answer is third, has a very positive attitude to life. What makes both Navin and Masood truly extraordinary is that they turn their challenge into opportunities, spend long time in hospitals, have done adventurous things, have broken many records. The correct answer is first, turn their challenges into opportunities. Answer the following questions briefly. First, how was Navin Gulia's dream to be a defense officer shattered? In 1995, Gulia fell while participating in infantry obstacle training at the IMA, crushing his spine and leaving him paralyzed from the shoulders down. This accident shattered his dreams to be a defense officer. B. What was Nevin's old passion? How did he revive it? Adventure, sports was Nevin's old passion. He revived it by beginning to drive and later joined a flying club. What does Nevin think of difficulties in life? Nevin thinks of things that we become successful in life because of our difficulties, not despite them. D. What difficulty did Masudur Rahman face in learning to swim after amputation? How did he overcome it? After the amputation, Masudur's body would bend downward from below the waist in water. To overcome this difficulty, he practiced from dawn to dusk and did not give up till he could swim. E. How, according to Masudur Rahman, can people with difficulties do better than normal people? People with difficulties can do better than normal people if they trust themselves. Third, the table below records the life events and achievements of Naveen Gulia and Masudur Rahman. Complete the table by filling in the missing details. 1995. Naveen Gulia. Spine was crushed and he became paralyzed, shoulders downward. Masudur Rahman Badhya. 1997 returned home in a wheelchair. World's first double amputee below the knee to swim across the English Channel. 2001 swam across the Straits of Gibraltar. First ever to drive non-stop from Delhi to Marsinik La in Leh in 55 hours. Fourth, list of qualities that are common to Naveen Gulia and Mastur Rahman Vedya. First, determination. Second, a spirit of adventure. Do you have the mindset of Naveen Gulia and Rahman? Answer yes or no and give reasons in your support. I think I do have the mindset the of Naveen Gulia and Rahman in that I am also passionate about what I want to achieve in life. I like to face challenges and I am determined to overcome them as and when they come. I wish to follow my dreams like they both did. I think I share their never say die spirit.